Brazilian, but I've been living in the Netherlands for the last 11 years. And I'm stoked to share stories and random facts about the city. And if you have any questions or if you can't hear me and you'd like me to speak louder, just let me know. Yeah, let's get started. So how old do you think Amsterdam is? Does anybody know? Any guess?
Yes, good.
How old do you think Amsterdam is? Yeah. Any guess? Sorry? No, it's 751 years. Yeah. So, in fact, last year we had a big anniversary party for the city. That was super fun. The municipality sent out tickets for people who live here, and they actually also closed the road around Amsterdam, and they threw the party on the road. So that was amazing. Except for the fact that it was the middle of summer and it was very hot in the pavement, so it was up to 50 degrees out there. Yeah, I wish we have another one of those this year. But yeah, 751 years ago, Amsterdam was a fisherman's village. Can anyone guess what was the main catch? What was the fish that they found here? No? No guesses? There we go. We got one. So yeah, it was herring, which is still super popular here. I don't know if anyone tried the herring. Did you try the herring? No? Yeah, herring. I do recommend that you try it, but I gotta admit, a lot of you are not really gonna like it. It's very polarizing. A lot of people I know passionately hate it. We say here that a herring a day keeps the doctor away. 2 herrings a day keeps everyone away. So you got the raw fish with the onions. I highly recommend having at least a mint after that. But yeah, so Amsterdam was a fisherman's village. Some of the stuff that made Amsterdam get an edge over the other cities around us was one, the toll rights. So back then, every city had to pay taxes to the count. Amsterdam got the toll rights, so we wouldn't pay taxes to the count. And not long after that, Amsterdam also got its city rights, which meant they could have its own legal system. So it made Amsterdam be its own environment, and it started building some of the identity that the city has nowadays, right? So another factor that was very big for this, for the growth of Amsterdam, you must have heard of the VOC. That's the East Indian Company. So yeah, the trade of spices and goods was very big in the city as well. Brought a lot of the money to the city, and we say they were traders, but nowadays we know that things are a bit more complicated, and a lot of the negotiations had cannons to back them up. But yeah, back in the day, the cinnamon, nutmeg, and pepper were super expensive. To this day, we say in Dutch peperduur, which means expensive as pepper. That's an expression that we still use to this day. All right, I'll give you a moment. If you want to order a drink, also just let me know. Yeah, enjoy the ride. Have any questions, just ask. Yeah, we do, yeah, of course. Let me get it for you.
Oh yeah. Yeah. It's got brick.
If it does rain, we got umbrellas for everyone. So I'll just pass them around now in case starts raining. So there's no. So how deep do you think the canals are?
20 feet.
20 feet. We got any guesses? So the canals are actually 10 feet.
10 feet.
Yeah, they were all man-made, so they're all dug by hand. And the only actual natural bodies of water we have here are the Eye, so that's the river right behind the train station, and the Amstel. The rest was all dug by hand. They're approximately 100 kilometers of canals right now. It all started with 3 canals though, and it was mainly to move the spice around the city, right? So instead of having wagons around and everything, you have them moved by boat. That's also we also say that the canals are 1 meter of dirt, 1 meter of bikes, and 1 meter of water. To this day, the city still takes out of the water 12,000 bikes at least per year.
Wow.
Yeah, but we also have 900,000 bikes, so it's more than one bike per person.
Wow.
Yeah, so it does happen a lot. And yeah, if you go for a swim, watch out for the bikes. Amsterdam, even when you're swimming, you gotta watch out for the bikes. But yeah, as I was saying, a lot of the goods were moved around the city, even though Amsterdam hasn't had a flood since the 1700s. Before that, a lot of the goods were stored in some of the houses, in some of the storage houses, and you can see that they lean forward and have hooks on tops, so stuff can be hoisted in. To this day, even when I moved to my apartment, I had to hoist in the table and everything because the houses are very small, very slim, even though they do have many floors and go deep. And that's because of the taxes also. Back in the day, the taxes were paid based on the width of the house. So a lot of the houses were made a lot slimmer. With some exceptions that I'll show you later. But yeah, you can notice also that some of the houses, I think we can see a couple around here, that have different size of windows. Usually they're gonna have 3 windows on the same size. Some of them are gonna have one bigger one and smaller ones, and some of them are gonna have wooden windows instead of the glass. And that's because back in the day the glass was very expensive, and the ones that have the wooden stuff, that means that it was a storage house actually. So you're gonna see that sometimes they will have a larger door so goods could be put in and out. And yeah, so that way they wouldn't have to have as much glass since people were not living there. You wouldn't need all the natural light, so they saved some money on that. So you can spot that around the city. And you can notice also the reason that the house lean forward is to hoist the stuff in. So when you pull stuff in, you're not gonna smash the windows. But you can also see that a lot of the houses, they kind of lean to the sides. That was not by design. So Amsterdam is basically built on top of a marshland. So all the structure of the city, for example, the central station, that did not exist. The whole central area was a port. The central station was built just afterward, just like a lot of the island stores north of the city. And they were all built on top of wooden poles. So the wooden poles were 7 meters deep, and they would hoist up a rock up to like 400 kilos, or like 30 men, to hit them and like set them into the ground. But years later, they also found out that the actual size of the poles they should put in the ground was actually twice of what they were using. So a lot of the houses, they sink in a little bit. Like I said, it's a marshland, right? And that's why you can see a lot of them kind of going sideways. Yeah, you can see that over there, for example, the land on the side of the